Can you code your way out of a 500-year-old crime? The most dangerous part of the extraction engine isn't its operators. It is the self-styled critics who sell you its newest costume and call it a fix. The extraction mechanism operates in two realms: 16th-century colonial dispossession and 21st-century algorithmic scraping. The logic is identical. Indigenous knowledge, lands, and data are perpetually commodified without consent. The tech industry claims it has built the tools to fix this. We are going to test all 5 solutions. The engine's metabolism cannot be accessorized. 70% of modern drugs derive from indigenous knowledge, yet less than 0.01% of profits return to source communities. You cannot fix a machine built for cultural cannibalism by attaching better accessories. It views data as static ore, while the source reality views knowledge as a living relationship. Costume 1. Differential Privacy, or the mathematical fig leaf. This fix injects mathematically rigorous noise to protect identity, but the defect is that it only addresses re-identification on data already stolen. The reality is that it's just compliance theater, reducing a sacred relationship to a statistical guarantee. Costume 2. Federated Learning and the Biopiracy 2-step. The fix says data stays local, and models are trained at the edge. The defect is that gradients flow upward. The corporation extracts the distilled, usable derivative. This is an evasion of the Nagoya Protocol, where the plant stays in the rainforest, but the patented molecule moves to the corporate server. Costume 3. Blockchain consent as techno-theology. The fix is immutable. On-chain consent registries. The defect is that indigenous protocols view consent as relational and withdrawable. A signed cryptographically minted transaction is a dead artifact. The reality is infrastructure asymmetry, forcing knowledge keepers to use crypto wallets to protect their own land. Costume 4. The 1% global tax as a modern indulgence. The fix is a 1% global tax on AI revenues from indigenous training data. The defect is that it prices the unpriceable. OCAP and UNDRIP principles dictate this knowledge is not for sale. A tax accepts the theft and merely sets the retail price. Reparations without restitution in kind is just money laundering. Costume 5. The Ethics Council as a captured regulator. The fix is cross-sectoral AI ethics councils with oversight mandates. The defect is that every ethics board in tech history has been captured, dissolved, or ignored. Without independent budgets and veto power, advisory boards are venues for legitimation, not regulation. The engine cannot diagnose itself outside its own vocabulary. The 5 costumes share a fatal cognitive defect. Techno-solutionism assumes every problem AI created can be solved by adding more AI infrastructure. These fixes are just the engine offering a more sophisticated handle. None of them turn the engine off. The Matrix of Folly versus the true fix. The true fix is subtractive and juridical, focusing on refusal, repatriation, relational protocols, a moratorium, and constitutional personhood. This contrasts with the additive and technical fixes offered by the extraction engine. Decolonial firewalls require statutory teeth. Real protection requires indigenous-led data trusts. To constrain algorithmic scraping, the tech industry must submit to the Global Indigenous Data Alliance's CARE principles: collective benefit, authority to control, responsibility, and ethics. These complement OCAP, legally binding the machine to the physical reality of the land. You cannot separate the data from the dirt it describes. By 2040, unchecked AI extraction systematically undermines indigenous land stewardship. Reconciling the dirt and the data requires repatriated knowledge sovereignty. Enforcing sovereign boundaries over living data is scientifically proven to be more effective for ecological preservation than industrial models. Disarming the Engine of Folly. You cannot code your way out. You can only legislate, refuse, and return. This means interrupting the 500-year loop, mandating legal frameworks like OCAP and UNDRIP, and instituting an absolute veto for indigenous AI ethics councils. The true fix requires humility, not just better manners. If your fix has an API, it isn't one. The engine cannot be retrofitted. It must be unbuilt. The profound irony is that the more advanced AI becomes, the more it exposes the primitive greed of its creators.